So, good evening, friends. Welcome on this fourth day of our Technology Week. We have a wonderful personality, CA Narasimha sir, with us. There is a author also for digitalizing of professional practice. We are awaiting, sir, your ebook on the subject, sir. So,
I'll make some
we
arrangement
are
to give it.
waiting. Yes, sir. Yes. So, sir is basically a technology man, we can say, in our profession. We are very grateful to you, sir. You have accepted our invitation and joined our technology week and today's session, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So,
Thank you.
without wasting much time, would like to request to you for your keynote address for our technology summit, technology week, and the importance of technology in the CA profession. So, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Hope you are all staying safe, whichever part of the country or whichever part of the world you are in. Last few days, or a little more than that, probably 3-4 months, all of us, it's a new realization for all of us. The dependence of technology has never been better understood than this critical period of COVID. And only in the coming days, it is going to drastically increase. Probably we are going to only see more and more digitization coming up. In fact, a jovial survey was conducted to identify what are the key reasons for you to get your firm digitized. And you know what? The most popular reason was COVID-19 and not anything else. So that was the unfortunate way. I mean, it was a pun, it was a jovial note, however you can call it. But I think that is how COVID-19 has treated us. I think this is the best time for us to digitize and upskill ourselves. Why? See, the new age services which you are going to use in the future, probably, let's say, even the same, I am a same traditional CA firm, I will practice law, I will practice GST, I will practice income tax, nothing wrong. You're going to be the same CA firm, but with the usage of technology, the way in which we use it is going to be far more optimized. Let's take a simple example. Most of us spend hours together doing this GST practice, which most of us in the last 3 years have been able to establish. Now, GST is one such area. Of course, there are two sets of people. One who look into core implementation, litigation, advisory opinions. Those are expert related. That will always be there. Look into the other side of the bucket. What are we doing? We are taking the information from one source, massaging it, putting into Excel, taking that data from Excel, converting it to the format which a software requires. From that software, we are again taking and putting it into the GST website, and we are spending a whole lot of time worrying whether my GST website will work on time, will not work, what is the issues, and a whole lot of these things. And as though this is not sufficient, then we spend a whole lot of time doing reconciliation. Correct? My books say something, my GST says something, my vendor is not uploaded, a whole lot of these confusions. As though this is not sufficient, I have A software for accounting, B software for this, X software for this. So the consuming of time is increasing day by day. That's on one side of the story. Look on the other side of the story. Are the work, of course, last 6 months or last 4 months, the work may probably have been reduced depending on, because the clientele also has had a lower business. But generally, if you see, our workload is always increasing. We have deadlines to catch up, we have a whole list of things, we don't know what is coming when, and all of a sudden government says this has to be extended, this has to be delayed, there is a timeline extension, and a bunch of all these deadlines come in one shot. If you remember, yesterday there was a deadline relaxation with respect to financial year 18-19. My due dates for financial year 18-19 now becomes 30th of September 2020 in case I have not filed it. And as though that is not sufficient, 31st of October, all my tax audit reports has to go through, and my company returns has to go through. So many complications. November transfer pricing cases, of course, you're the best in each of them. I'm not going to dispute on the due dates. But look at ourselves. And we are working with limited staff. As though this is not sufficient, all those article staff and employees who went on leave for the month of June examination, as though they were not sufficient, now they've got an extended time period to study for November examination. So we are having a serious resource crunch. This means we are in a position where we are forced to work more with limited resources, and the only way we can do it with Better quality, better assurance is trusting technology. And my dear friends, technology is the future. You may be the best practitioner in A, B, C, income tax, GST, nothing wrong. You will still have a future. You know, you keep on reading, oh, artificial intelligence is going to take over, machine learning is to take over. Don't worry, artificial intelligence and machine learning cannot understand our GST law. Even if it understands, that's a great achievement. The jokes apart, let's keep that aside. But the reality is, the way we as a human being, the way we ourselves work in our office, it is going to drastically change. And this is what I have tried to reflect in my thought wherever I have spoken on digitization, wherever I've spoken on technology. The first and foremost thing which we need to keep in mind is understand what is it that I can improvise. In fact, I have co-authored this material or guide on implementation called as the Digital Capability Maturity Model for our own ICAI. So where I've authored it, we have clearly mentioned an approach note. And as though this is not sufficient, Virag, you was asking me why I couldn't share the book. I was working on my next book, and the next book is again publication for our ICAI. Just last week we submitted a guide for virtual accounting firms. That's a new guide which we are coming up with, and we are expected to release that very soon, probably in next about 1 month's time, because there are some regulatory clearances processes in place. So once that is done, it will in fact talk about the future is all about virtual. You operate anywhere in the world, you can work. You would be surprised. Last week and this week, we have onboarded a few interns who are working in some remote corner of the country, but there are staff. Now comes the interesting question: how is ICAI going to accept them as an intern because they are working somewhere else? Those are questions we are yet to figure out an answer, but we got started because we need to breathe a change which we have to bring forth. And one very important and a logical and a very critical question which many of them ask is, sir, is cloud safe? My question to most of them is your traditional database safe? The probability of your system being attacked by a bug, a malware, is way higher than that of a cloud-based system. No, you might say, no, sir, I'm happy having my data with my own premises. That's absolutely fine. There are some benefits, utilities you get when you migrate to the cloud. And that is something very critical which you need to understand. And only if you have a knowledge of these, my dear friends, you will be able to proceed. And therefore, considering I will not take too much time, I've already spoken about for 5 to 8 minutes, I'll probably keep it short and simple. What should be my digital strategy? The simple steps is very clear. First and foremost, assess and understand what type of clients you deal with. There are extremely large clients where they dictate terms, nothing we can do. There are very petty clients where we can bring in a whole lot of change. Start with them. And what do I do to start with them? The most basic thing is, from a client angle, look at how accounting you can automate. From your office angle, look at how your practice management you can automate. Today we are having two wonderful topics. One is on office management, I think using a software by name Jamku, and the other is on accounting on the cloud using another application called Zoho. I in fact have gone through both of these products to some extent. I've got a idea how they work, and they have a lot of very interesting features, and that is something which is very exciting. Those features, please try to understand how best you can adapt yourself in office, because you cannot get one solution for all your problems, which is absolutely understandable, but I think somewhere you have to begin. Correct? So coming back to what I was trying to say, so identify those low hanging fruits which you can definitely pick it up. It could be accounting, it could be office automation, it could be task, it could be anything, and from there build the case. Pick up probably 3 or 4 cases. Okay, I know this is a very busy week for me, no problem. I will try only for one product, I will try only for one client, see how best that works. Once you've got an idea, okay, this prototype works fine for me, this model works for me, can you move into the live environment for that particular client? Meaning, can I disregard my traditional Excel based method of identifying tasks and use a software like what we're going to discuss? Can I go over the existing domestic ERP system, or a system which works only on my laptop or only on my desktop? Can I move away from that to a cloud based system? Try those principles. Once you get an idea about this, yes, that is where you will slowly start thinking, okay, once I've got a comfort, it is time that I actually start moving ahead. Correct? So that is the thought process which you should have, and definitely this will bring a lot and lot of significant changes in the way you work and the way you actually see the future. And the last point which I like to make a mention, the future generation youngsters who are going to run the business are totally different mindset. Correct? I was just reading an article today where they said millennials are over. It is the era of Generation Z. Those people who are born after 1996 to 2000, all these people are referred to as Generation Z. Whereas those people who are born after the World War II, we called as the baby boomers. Now we are talking about two extreme cases. One set of people who have so much of experience, please keep in mind, every person has something new to bring to the table. One set of people has so much amount of experience, another set of people are so much innovative. Bring both of them together. I think your success will be very, very comprehensive and it will be easy for you to achieve. On that note, I hope I gave an initial thought process what the session wanted, and over to the organizers. Look out for these concepts, try to understand what those features are, and speak to the persons. I think they're coming up with interesting offers. It makes a lot of sense for you to speak to them. Try to subscribe to those offers, give it a try, because unless we try certain things, I don't think we will be able to implement. Remember, you can't swim by just reading a book. Correct? You need to try your hands on technology. And thank you so much, Virag. Thank you so much, Zoho team and Jamco team for having me to be a keynote speaker. And I hope I was able to share my thoughts. Over to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's very wonderful to see your keynote address. It will be very fruitful for all our attendees, and they surely try to implement whatever you told about the virtual implementation of entire office, including the staff hiring from the virtual location. So we'll see the what you told about guidelines of the institute. Obviously, it will change in future. There is no problem in that. Institute is very friendly with all the members, so that is also possible. So at present we'll talk about the practice management and the accounting, how virtually that will be possible. So once again, thank you, Narasimhan sir, for joining. And now would like to request directly to Swecha Jain, co-founder at Jamku. So Swecha, I already shared the screen. You can introduce yourself and the product about the uh, practice management.
Yes, so thank you so much, Virag. And good evening, everyone. Good evening to our chief guest and all the attendees and my co speakers as well. So, as rightly said, it's the high time now that we introduce technology in our practice. It's high time that we automate our systems and provide the best possible services to our clients. So, obviously, we at Jamku have our practice management software, wherein this software will help you in automating your practice, be it your client relationship or the document management part, or what services you give to your clients, how much time you are investing in those work, efficiency tracking, partner wise reporting, and all those things. So, we'll definitely see how Jamku can help you in overcoming your problems. So, my co speaker Adarsh will just introduce Jamku and then we can move forward.
Yes. So Svecha, you can just start the screen sharing. Yes, thanks. So hello everyone. So today the need of the hour is to scale up the practice. So in this COVID era, it is very much important that we move away from being people oriented and start being system oriented. Only then we'll be able to scale up and reap the benefits of implementing a good solution. So when we talk about being moving from being system oriented, people oriented to being system oriented, what we mean is that each and every processes does not have to be dependent upon a team member being available, being present with us, and everything is being driven by the systems that are in place. A very crude example, if I want to give, so say suppose a team member was working on say GST application, new GST application, and next day the team member due to some reason is not available in the office. Maybe he has fallen ill, he had some urgent family to attend to, So another team member can easily pick up from where he or she has left. So this is the good test to know whether your firm will be able to handle those cases or not. So the first and foremost situation when this arise, that the team member who is picking up would definitely call the previous team member and ask him, where are the files kept? You had received few documents from the client, where are those kept? So if this is the question that is being asked, then there is a high time that you have a system in place where all these things are documented and shared with all the team members, so that team members can directly, instead of communicating with each other, directly go to the system and have a look at where is that document kept, and start working from there. Yes, Vicha, next slide please. So getting there is not a one step process. There are many small milestones that we have to set and then work towards achieving those milestones. We cannot expect that our firm will get to this level in just one day or overnight. We have to set up say a end goal of moving to that, say after 3 months, after 6 months. And in order to achieve the larger objective over a period of 6 months, we have to set up smaller goals. Like for example, we should have a system of or digitalizing certain documents, another system of digitalizing our attendance record. Next we move to digitalizing our inward and outward. Next we move to digitalize our say out of pocket expenses, client communication. And then ultimately after 6 months we will be able to say that now our firm is where we want to be. So this is the entire journey that you have to take, and it is just a matter of time, or you can say you will also start to feel the need to get there. So take baby steps, jot down those points. So it could be just a piece of paper, sitting with all the senior team members in the office, and jotting down these are the smaller milestones that we have to achieve. Just on a piece of paper, you just jot down these 7 8 steps that you want to take, and track the progress on a weekly basis, whether we have achieved those objectives in mind or not. Coming to the next slide, let us before we actually move on to the actual software demo, let's talk about what are the things that we need to take into consideration when we are talking about uh, implementing a system to manage our practice. First and foremost thing that we have to manage is sharing of the data. Here it's weird to see manage as well as sharing together in a single sentence. It's important that we ensure client confidentiality while we are sharing the data and collaborating with the team members. So a system should be such that it helps you to ensure client confidentiality as well as does not hinder any collaboration efforts between the team members. Second is having bird's eye view. If we get into nitty gritties on a daily basis, then we will not be able to come out of the day-to-day practice. We have to ensure that we always stay up to date just by looking at the bird's eye view of where my practice is going, what all things are going in my practice. And then by looking at the bird's eye view, we'll be able to pinpoint these are the few areas which requires my attention. So this will free up your time to a great extent, and also help your managers to have a bird's eye view like you have it. So this is very much important. Next is single source of truth. So if you have multiple systems telling you different versions of the truth, then we cannot take any decision based on that system. So we should have a single source of truth, a single system which will tell us that these are the GST returns which are filed, these are the GST returns which are pending, and these are the GST returns which are stuck because of some or another reason from the client side. Next is chasing deadlines. So it is imperative that we have to learn to chase these deadlines and be on the top of the deadlines. That's day-to-day life of our CA community, right? So a system should be made in such a way that it helps us to chase that deadline and it gives us pre-indication whether we need to do some overtime right now, so that we don't end up missing any deadlines at the end of the month or end of the week, where we have a lot of pressure on last few days, and we are enjoying currently. So the system should pinpoint these areas. Next, we come to team collaboration. So collaborating with the team is of utmost importance, and specifically in this time where we are predominantly working remotely, and the team members are not sitting at the single location. So collaboration will ensure that all the team members share the knowledge and expertise which a team member has already gained. Like for example, if you have to draft a partnership deed, uh, I don't think so any firm will ask the team member to start from the scratch. You always have to rely on some or another template where that, okay, that can be relied, and then the things can be moved on. Next we have is transparent actionables. The team members, here the important point to note is that team members should also be able to see the actionables for their end. Like for example, if say suppose an intern wants to take a leave for 1 week, so she might come to the sir's cabin and ask, sir, I want to go on leave for 1 week. So before coming to sir's cabin, he or she would like to first have a look at what all tasks that are assigned to her are getting due in this next week when she wants the leave. So these kind of actionables will help her to either finish it off before she is going to leave, or identify which other team members can be uh, transferred those jobs, so that when she goes to the sir's cabin, she already has all the answers, all the action points which sir needs to take. So here the important point is transparency and actionables both at the same time. And at the last, what we need is efficiency tracking and tracking of our entire progress of the firm. The tracking of billables, tracking of task progress, tracking of other things, like which team member is being efficient, which clients needs to we need to renegotiate the fees and all these things. So with that, I move on to the next part. Yes, Swechha, you can. Uh, so now Swechha will be taking us through one of the solution that we have in the market, which is called as Jamku. So it's a Jamku has been in the market since 2013, and over to you, Swechha. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Adarsh. So, yes, everyone. So, we'll discuss about how Jamku will help us in overcoming all the situations which we are currently facing, as well as we'll also be discussing all these things with which Adarsh rightly pointed out. So basically, it's an online software wherein every one of you will have, like everyone in the office will have their separate user IDs and passwords to log in into the software. Now, obviously, we'll take up the reporting part first, which will be useful mainly for the admins, the partners, as well as the senior members in the office. So the first report we have over here is related to your recurring services. Now see, whichever recurring service we provide in our office, be it monthly, quarterly, yearly, here in this report we'll be able to see the scenario for each repetition. Like suppose, for example, if we take 3B over here, which is repeated monthly, so we'll see over here that okay, for August 2020, 73 tasks of 3B were completed in the office, 3 were ignored. Similarly, in September, this was the scenario, and so and so. Now, see, this report is helping us to keep a track that, okay, how much amount of work has been completed under a particular service for that particular period. Because any number you see over here, everything is clickable. So when you click on any of these numbers, it takes you to that list of work. Now, obviously, same goes for your quarterly and yearly services as well. Now, there comes a scenario wherein, okay, the admins or the team leaders will view this report. But what about the junior team members? When they come to this report or this kind of dashboards, what will they see? So, everything over here is governed based on the permissions you give to every user in the office. So since, like as I mentioned earlier also, everyone will have a separate login ID and password. So for every user, you will be deciding that what features that users should access. So for your junior staff, you can rightly give the permission of only my, so that whenever they open their system, any reports, any dashboards they view, the reports will be visible to them, but only with respect to their particular task, whatever work you have assigned to them. Then if you have teams in your office, on the similar line, you can form team in the software also, so that to the team head, you can give the permission of my team, so that that person can view it for his team also. And to whomever you give all permission will be able to view it for the whole office. So these things are followed throughout the software basically. Now, coming to the next report over here. So this kind of calendar dashboard you can see over here, wherein for a particular month, all my work is lined up on this calendar according to the due dates. So like on 30th, if I see this 10 tasks are pending with me, it means like this work has been assigned to me. It is still pending and the due date falls on 30th of this month. So basically, obviously, like when we are seeing these reports, we'll also discuss along with it that how useful this will be or what kind of decisions you'll be able to make via these reports. So now I'll be accordingly, I can plan my overtime over here. Like if next week I have to take a leave, I'll accordingly know this work has been lined up for me for next week. So I'll accordingly set my priorities based on that. Coming to your clients, so whichever clients you save in this system, for every client you will have a separate dashboard, wherein when you visit this dashboard, you will be able to know every detail of this client over here. So currently we have taken example of Arihant Enterprises. So for this client, if I have to view any kind of information, be it the pending work, the pending bills, the contact details, the documents, any kind of information, this is the dashboard where I'll visit. Now, along with the client, you can see one more name over here. So basically, that is the group which is associated with this client. So for every client, you can form a group. Like majorly, it will be useful in case of like if you're working for a husband, wife, and a company, or big the members of the same family. So you can basically group them so that all the details you can view at group level as well. Invoicing and all also you can prepare a group invoice directly for them. So obviously I am on this client dashboard. That is why I am able to view the details about this client. But when I go to the group, I'll be able to view the details for the whole group. Now currently discussing about this client. So what all things we can see over here? So we can see over here, these members are currently working on this client. So whichever member is assigned to this client's work, whenever they take up the work, these names will automatically appear over here. Then I can also see all the pending scenario of this client over here. Like we have 17 tasks which are going on for this client, 18 are overdue, 143 bills are pending, and so and so. And as we already discussed, any number you see in the software, everything is clickable. Now you can view the contact details also of your client. The special thing what we have done over here is this WhatsApp icon you can see. So if I have to send WhatsApp message to this number directly by clicking here, my WhatsApp chat will open up. Okay, so it becomes easier for me that I don't have to save this number to send the WhatsApp message, which currently everyone has to do. So even if this number is not saved, I can click over here. It takes me to that chat of WhatsApp. Now on this page, obviously we saw all the pending scenario of this client, like this things are pending with us. On the next page, we will see what services we give to this particular client. And if it's a recurring service, like you can see over here, GSTR1 we do quarterly for this client. So I am also able to know over here that the scenario for each quarter for this work. So for quarter 1 2020, the task was completed for this client, and it is also showing me the amount of time which we invested in that work. So along with the status of the task, like it is completed or is it going, or another kind of status options also we have. Along with that, you will also be able to track the time which you are charging on this client, so that you can accordingly compare that also. For in case of your recurring service or monthly services, you will easily be able to compare that if last month this much was the time invested, by this month the time has increased. Attendance report also we have, wherein like obviously we have a attendance system wherein everyone in the office can mark their attendance so that their in time and their out time will be captured. And we have this report which will show you how many days a person was present, their average in time and their out time. Now see, majority of the reports what we have over here, they are of this format only, wherein this kind of pivot table will be given to you. You can select from here what things you wish to see in the report. So that kind of flexibility is given, that we don't have any fixed columns over here. Your reports you can form based on all the possibilities which we have given. Now, coming to attendance, we have one more similar feature which will help you in comparing the attendance hours and the actual work hours. Now, suppose I, as an employee, am marking my attendance, say, from 9 to 5 in the office. Now, during this 8 hours, in actual, how much work input I have given. So, that comparison, it will show me that, okay, Dhanashri has spent 5 hours. That means she has spent 55% of her attendance hours in the actual work. So basically that kind of comparison also you will be able to see over here. Now there may be few tasks in the office which might be, say, still going on since past 1 or 2 years, but it is important that you never miss out on those old tasks. That is why we have aging report in that case, wherein this report will show you all the past tasks as well which are still in the pending state. So here we can see since November 2018 we have this 31 tasks which are in the still pending state. So I can accordingly click on them, I can take actions on them. Either I mark them as completed or I ignore them. So whatever things I have to do via this aging report, I'll be able to see all my old tasks. Now, moving forward to the next set of reports. So see, any service we give to our client, be it 3B, ITR, or any set of service, under a particular service, we have our predefined procedure or we have our steps which we follow in that service. So those steps you can form it over here as well. Steps, activities, or we call it as stages also. So this set of steps is completely customizable. You can create the steps which you follow in that particular service. So that now step wise or stage wise also you'll be able to see the report. Now see, obviously if I tell the system that show me 3B for the month of December for how many clients it is pending, the software will give me the list of the clients, like it is pending for this many clients. But in my case, it will be important to know that exactly at which level it is pending. Like, is it the delay happening from the client saying that he has not given the documents only till now? Or is the delay happening from our end? So to know those things, this kind of report will be useful. Wherein we can see over here, we have received the data from 69 clients. From 5 clients, it is still pending. So now I know this for this 5 clients, the delay is happening from their end. Obviously, for a reminder, I can shoot out email, I can shoot out SMS, or we even saw the WhatsApp option. Now I can also do a tracking in this manner that, okay, we have received it from 69. For how many clients the return filing has been done? So for 66, it has been done. So this kind of tracking also I can do over here. Now, if you require a more detailed approach to this report, we have that as well. Wherein this report will exactly show you that who are those clients who have not given the data, or who are the clients from whom we have received the data but still return filing is left, which members are working on those clients. So like a detailed report of the previous one, you can say. As well as you can compare the progress of your stages in this chart format as well, wherein this progress charts will show you the progress of each of the stage which you have created, and you can accordingly select those stages and compare it accordingly over here. Now coming to, suppose I was not there in the office since last 4 5 days, I couldn't pay attention, not only me, like be it any person in the office. So after that gap of 5 days, when I have opened my system, the first thing I would like to know is what happened in the office during my absence. Like if I am a team leader or I am an admin or a partner, I would like to know how many tasks were completed during this period, or how many were marked as stuck so that I can pay my attention to them. Due dates were changed for how many. So basically to keep a track of all the changes which happened during that time. And even if I am an employee, I would obviously like to know again, like if I was not there in the office since last 5 days, what happened on the work which I was assigned to, whether someone else was given that or what changes were made on that. So basically, to keep a track of all the changes which happened during your absence, this report will be useful. So here we are tracking from 18th of March till 22nd of March. We can see on advance tax payment on 18th of March, the status was changed. Like the task status was changed from G to S. G to S over here basically means going to stuck. So the task was marked as stuck by Kajal for this particular client. So whichever member is making any of the changes on any of the tasks, everything will be recorded over here on real time basis. Now, up till now, we have just discussed about the normal task management part, like how you will track your work. You will track it based on due dates, like we saw on the calendar report, or you will track it based on how many stages are pending, like we saw in the previous report. But apart from all these things, whenever you feel that any extra tracking is required on any particular work, then we have this option that you can create your own set of fields over here. This is again totally customizable. Whatever things you feel that we have to track this things as well in this service, create them over here. We will have the report generated based on what you have created now. So that kind of flexibility is also there, mainly in case of your this kind of work like CIT appeals or ITATs or such kind of work, wherein definitely you require to track many more things apart from normal task management. You require to track whether the matter was fixed or not, or who is the CIT in charge, date of filing appeal, and so and so. So this feature will be most useful in those scenarios. So any extra tracking you require, create your fields and track it based on the reports which are generated. Now, coming to your audit related work or mainly your larger engagements, you can say, wherein for a particular work will go on, a particular project will go on for several months. So in those scenarios, you have the option that under a main task, you can create several subtasks as well. So here we have taken the example that we have this chat audit work for this particular client. So for this work, we have created this 4 subtasks over here. So now subtask wise also I'll be like able to do all the tracking. What kind of tracking? So basically each of the subtask I can assign it to different members. Then I can set targets as well for the subtask that it should be completed by this date. Team members can upload the documents at subtask level. A checklist kind of thing also you can prepare at subtask level. We will discuss that in further sections as well. So basically all the things you could do at task level can now be tracked at subtask level also. Coming to one of the important report, that is the work done analytics. Whatever work, whatever time you will be investing in the things you or your users, everything will be captured over here. So this report will help you in tracking the things in multiple manner. So suppose we are tracking for this particular day, we can see over here Nitya has spent 6.17 hours. Now where she has spent this time? On all these clients. What work she has done for each of the client. Obviously, if I select that also from the pivot table, those things will also be shown over here. Now see, it is obviously it is important to track it user wise that okay, this person has spent this much time in this work and so and so. But it is equally important to track it client wise as well. Like how much time you are investing in your clients. So that you accordingly know like whether that client is that important that we have invested so much time. So like this kind of scenarios you'll be able to track over here. Not client wise, service wise also you can track it, like in which service how much time you invested in the past month or whatever period you take. So like all kind of possibilities are available over here. Now moving forward to the features which will help you in organizing the things in a better manner. So the first feature we have over here is tagging your clients. That is giving tag words to each of your clients and as many tag words as you want. So that basically via this tag words, you will be able to filter your reports or filter the client page. Like suppose if I have to view only show me all my clients who are directors. So only that filter I have to apply over here. Only that list of clients will be shown. So in this manner, tagging will easily help you in filtering your clients. Now, a similar kind of feature we have it at task level also. We call them as labels. Now, how it will be useful? So we will directly take a use case over here. So suppose I'm working on this particular task. Now I feel that this task requires my senior's attention or my partner's attention. So how will I convey it to them? So what I can do over here is I can give labels to this task. Obviously, whatever labels you define in the master, that only the people will be able to use, so that there will be a uniformity in those labels. So now I have given the label over here, that attention is required, or attention is required by which partner, that names also you can mention. So now whenever my partner opens the task list page or this report, he obviously has to just focus on this 12 task out of this 1400 and something task. So now I, as a partner, I easily know that I just have to focus on this 12 task, because my attention is required only on them. So in this manner, you can easily filter your reports. Now, there may be scenarios like it happens in every office that someone is over occupied or some member is comparatively free. So we have this planning page also, wherein you will be able to know that, okay, which member is over occupied or which member is comparatively free, so that you can accordingly adjust those work. As well as if someone wants to go on a leave, via this report you will be accordingly able to know that whom to transfer that work to, because it's a weekly chart for every member to show what work they have in their hand for that particular week. Related to the client, obviously, like documents and all, we'll discuss it in the little later section. But we current, like previously we discussed the pending scenario of the client, we discussed what services we give and how much time we are investing. Now coming to other kind of information which you wish to maintain over here, so we have a profile section for each client, wherein you can save all the details of that client over here. Now, on the similar lines, we have another option which you can use at client level, that is saving the usernames and passwords. Now, you have usernames, passwords for different portals. So that thing also you can maintain over here itself. Now, obviously, it has to give you some advantage if you are shifting your system over here. So the first advantage it gives you is you can accordingly control the access over here. Like if I don't wish to show this username or this password to a new joinee or my article, I can accordingly restrict that. I can restrict it in this manner also, that okay, for this client this 5 members are working, so show this client's username passwords only to this 5 members. So this kind of access control also I can do. Now the next like unique thing what we have done is we have linked the URLs also over here, so that when you click on income tax or GST or whichever portal's username password you are saving, it directly takes you to that portal. So like this kind of unique options will be available if you shift your usernames passwords over here from Excel. Talking about your scrutinies, appeals, notices. So for all these things, we have hearing module over here, wherein all your hearings can be maintained at a single location. So you can keep a track of all the hearings, which one is completed, which one is lined up, as well as you can also note down the outcome of the hearing. And in some scenarios, you also have those kind of things wherein first hearing for the client is done, now you have second hearing lined up. So obviously you can put the instructions also for the next hearing. So everything about the hearing will also be maintained at a single location. Coming to document management part. Now see, we have two kinds of documents of our clients. One are the physical copies, which we maintain in our office, like the files, records, the hard copies I'm talking about basically. And another are the digital documents, which we usually, like every office has a server wherein on that you maintain folders for your clients, and in that you save the documents. So firstly, we will speak about the physical inventory over here. So now see, these are obviously the documents which we keep in our office. So over here, what you can do is just maintain a record over here that where that document is kept in the office, which drawer, which shelf, or whatever names you give, so that any person searching it will easily know that okay, for this client this document is over here. As well as another important thing you can do over here is keep a track of expiry dates of your DSCs. So that tracking also it will help you in, wherein you can maintain the DSC expiry dates, and accordingly it will remind you like which DSCs are getting expired or which are lined up for this month, and so. So this is the option for your physical inventory. Now coming to the digital documents. So like usually see in every office house, the scenario is we have a server wherein in that server folders are maintained for each of our clients. And in that folder, we have all the documents pertaining to that client. Now, suppose if I have to open any particular document, what I have to do? I have to follow the same procedure, like I have to go to the server, locate that client's folder, and maybe a subfolder in that as well, and then search for that document in that folder. So, approximately 1 minute will be gone in opening one document. Now, if in a day I have to open 12 files, and I have 10 members in my office, each of them, like taking into consideration that each of them is opening 12 files in a day, so my 2 hours are just gone in navigating through folders and opening the documents. So how we can reduce this? Obviously, if we are going for a technology, it has to give us some advantage from our existing system. So we have two options for that. The first option is currently wherever you are maintaining your documents, you can link that over here. Like if I have it on my server or local network or local drive, copy that path, paste it over here, so that next time onwards I don't have to search it in my PC. From here itself I can click and I can open my documents. So basically it's just reducing the time which is gone in separately searching it in the system, because I know that for this client whichever documents I require, I can click over here and I can open that. Now if you use OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, we can integrate that also over here, wherein your directly your drive documents you can open from here itself. So that is why we call it as a shortcut. That is, it is a shortcut to your document basically. So this is the first option. And obviously these things you can manage at client level also and at task level as well. Now coming to another option wherein you can take a cloud storage space and upload all the documents on the cloud. So obviously here you just have to drag and drop the files. Then whichever member has to view that can view it from here, as well as it will also be available for downloading. Now, one more important thing what you can do over here is you can share these documents with your clients as well. This is an optional thing, but if you wish to share it with your clients, just make it while uploading, make it visible to the client. Because we have a client portal as well, wherein your clients can also log in now. So when they log in and if you have made any document visible for them, they can download it directly from the portal. So this kind of advantage you will have it. Okay, so this were the option for your document management part, the physical ones and the digital ones. And obviously we have fully functional mobile apps as well. So each and every feature up till now which we discussed, you can operate it from your mobile phones as well. Android, iOS, both the apps are available. So dragging, dropping files from the mobile phone, if you have taken some screenshot or so, you have to upload that also directly from your mobile itself, you can do that. Now coming to one of the important thing, that is user experience. See, it is very important that when you take, like when you move your whole system, your existing system, which you are following since last so many years, when you shift it to a new technology, it is very important that what kind of user experience it will give you. So coming to that, like obviously we have the 2 3 considerations which we have to consider when going for a new technology. Like others also spoke about the same, that we have to consider these scenarios wherein if we are shifting to a cloud based system, we have to check the speed also of the software. It should not be the case that you are opening something, some report, and it is taking 5 minutes of your whole time to open that. It should also be the scenario that the new system is easily usable by everyone. So whichever reports, whichever soft, like you see it over here, it should be the case that whether it is visible, like whether it is easily accessible to everyone, how easy to use it is, whether your employees will be comfortable or not using it. So obviously to discuss about this, like obviously to discuss about these things wherein I'm talking about the user experience, I'll have to take you to the actual software itself to know the speed and as well as to know how the user capabilities and how easy to use it is. So here I am on the actual software over here on the live environment. You can see over here I am on my task list page. This page is showing me all the tasks in the office. Obviously in the permission settings you can manage it. I am viewing all, which shows me for the whole office. Now you can see over here I have more than 2500 tasks over here. How will I search for a particular task which I am looking for? So obviously filtering capabilities will come into picture over here. How easy the filtering will and how fast it will be. So suppose I'll just give you 2-3 glances over that. So suppose I'm searching for all my 3B tasks. So what I can do is just type 3B over here and all my 3B tasks will be filtered out. Now in this also, I wish to search it for a particular group only. Like show me 3B for adhikaris only. So you can see 97 tasks have been filtered out, which are 3B tasks for adhikari. Now amongst this also, I wish to search it only for the period of January. So I can type Jan also. So 13 have been filtered out now. Now in this also, I wish to focus on only the ones which is stuck, where the work has been stuck. So this is that particular task. So basically what I'm trying to convey over here is this easy the filtering will be, that is you just type the things over here, it will accordingly filter out the reports, and in any manner, in any order you can type the things. Obviously we have predefined filter queries as well, which you can use. Like if I wish to search only show me all my tasks which have the due dates in this month, so I can type that also. So 194 tasks are there which are due for this month. So this kind of filter queries also you can search it. We have many such kind of filter queries. Now this is just one option of filtering. Suppose if someone in the office is not comfortable using this option, next option what we have is the same thing you can search from the drop down as well. Like how we type the things, similarly we'll select it from the drop down also if we want. Now coming to next option, suppose I require only show me my attention needed task. So 56 tasks are there which requires my attention. Now in this also, I wish to see only show Darshana's task amongst all this. So 34 have been filtered out. So this kind of options you can use. Then partner wise filtering, categories you can form and filter according to that, branch wise. So all these options will be there. And this fast it will begin. Now coming to one more important thing which I would like to highlight over here. See, everything over here, the current format of the software which you are seeing is in the card format. Like is everything is visible in the card manner. Every task has a single card over here. Suppose someone in the office is not comfortable with this format, you can easily shift to the tabular format as well. So if I am not comfortable with the by default format of the software, I can anytime switch to the table format, because now this is giving me the same feel of Excel. Like I can see everything in the column manner, as well as I can filter out the things as I filter in Excel. See, because we know that since everyone in the office is already familiar with Excel, so it won't become a big issue shifting to a new technology. That is why this kind of options we have made it available. Now moving forward to next part of user experience, that is when I click on a particular task, a separate dashboard will open up for each task, which will help me in knowing all the details of that task over here. So we can see it is 2019 IT return filing for this client. These 3 members are working on it. How many steps have been done, how many are pending, any documents if you have linked, due date of it, and so and so. Now, one more important thing over here which you can do is prepare a to-do list or a checklist kind of thing, you can say, wherein you like anything you require from the client side, be it any documents, any clarification, or even your SOP kind of thing, you can prepare over here, so that whichever member is working, they can accordingly checklist those things. Like if in case of documents, you can accordingly checklist it that we have received it from the client. In case of SOP kind of thing or a particular checklist you are forming for particular subtask or the whole task, that also you can mention over here. And one more important thing, a unique feature which we recently launched was workflow. That is, each of this checklist also I can assign it to different members. So each of the checklist I can give it to different members, and when the previous member has completed it, the next member will be accordingly notified. Like the previous one has done, now I can start my work. So this is the workflow arrangement what you can do in your office. Talking about how it looks on the mobile app. So user experience is also important when you operate it from your mobile phone. So all the features are available on our Android as well as iOS mobile app, wherein now suppose if Pooja has logged in, so Pooja will see that, okay, today I have to complete this 8 task. When I click over here, list of the work will be shown. Whenever I have worked on it, I can accordingly update it from here itself. And this WhatsApp or this calling feature, as we already discussed, this can also be operated conveniently from your mobile phones. Now moving to client relationship part, how you will communicate with your clients. First option is client portal, as I already mentioned that about in some of the previous slides, wherein you can give login access to your clients as well, so that they can log in directly on the portal, they can have a look at their work which you are doing for them, as well as any documents you upload, your clients can download it. Then bulk SMS, bulk emails also you can shoot out from here, and you will have all the reports generated based on that. Coming to profitability and the invoicing part. So we have an invoicing feature also built within the software itself. Now coming to profitability here, how we calculate the profitability is individual assignment wise, you can say. Like for this engagement, for this client, we are charging this much. Now how much is our actual cost? Like actual cost will obviously be calculated based on the cost per hour of every member in the office. So whichever member is charging their time on that task, according to the cost per hour, this actual cost will be calculated by the system. And you will get the result of your profit or your loss. As well as you can also keep a track of like how much was your estimation for this work, the estimation time, and how much in actual the members spent and which members spent that time. And reports will be generated based on that as well. Coming to invoicing, so here you can prepare group invoices as well, wherein for a particular group or a client, which I select over here, all the unbilled tasks will be listed. So that now I just have to select from here, whichever I have to prepare in the bill. Now I can add multiple tasks also in the same bill, as well as I can prepare the bill partially also. So receipts also you can create it for your receivables, and then this kind of profitability report will be shown, which will show you for each group the billing amount received, outstanding, your actual cost, and your profit. Now moving to the last set of features over here. So see, suppose like when you mark your attendance over here, soon we are bringing out geo-based attendance as well, wherein while marking the attendance, the location will also be captured. It will be important mainly in case of the members who are going for client visits. As well as when you mark your attendance, the absent list, present list of on day-to-day basis will be available. Now, considering one more important thing which others rightly pointed out, like permission access. It is very important that when you are going for a cloud-based software, it is important that you accordingly control your permissions, accordingly control that which access which member should have. So we have a very fine-grained control over permissions. For each feature, you can decide whether that person should have access to that or not.
So it's at
Teams
the last
also, as
5 minutes.
we yeah, I'm already like almost done. So teams also you can form it over here, wherein the team leader can view it for the team as well. And all your existing data, you don't have to worry about that. We can bring it directly into the software through Excel. So we have templates for that, wherein we can import your data. Export option is also available. Anytime you can take your data into Excel whenever you require. Now coming to some key points over here, that why you should prefer Jamku over other softwares. One, the first thing is that it is the only practice management software in India which is available on all the platforms and devices. So you don't have to worry about which OS or which system or which phone your employees or you are using. It will be available on each of them. Then we have, like on our website itself, we have mentioned a few testimonial videos, as well as this testimonials of our existing clients who are using it. We call it as a complete package because whichever dashboard reports you'll be getting over here, each and everything will help you in making some or the other decision, right? Like we already discussed while viewing the reports. That is why we call it as DSS, Decision Support System. And the speed obviously is very important. So we have like this will load under 1 second on whichever reports you are. It will load in milliseconds. That is our guarantee. One more thing which you should consider is support. When adopting a new technology, definitely you will also require support from our end. So we have a super fast support system wherein from within the software itself you can chat with our representatives. And all our security measures are also defined on the website. But we have restricted a complete white paper on security on our website itself. So this were the key features of Jamku. If you are interested, you can definitely fill out the sign up form. And for today's attendees, we have special offers as well, wherein you'll be getting extra 1 month of the software, 1 month of the license, and special pricing as well. So on our website itself, you can fill out the sign up form, or you can contact us on this number. So thank you everyone for your patient listening. I hope this session was informative. And obviously, any doubts, any queries you have, you can reach out to us, as well as at the end of this webinar also, once the Zoho team finishes up their presentation, we can take up the doubts as well. So thank you everyone. Over to you, Virag.
Thank you so much. Just want to play the video as given by your team.
Hello, this is Amit Shetty from Chaturvedi Shah, and I have been asked to provide our feedback on Jamku software. So, firstly, it has been roughly a year we have been using this software, and I must say the experience till now has really been good. Right from the user interface, which is very easy to use, to the final reports for our internal control. In our firm, we are a team of three who usually look after the operational aspect of Jamku for our firm. And whenever we face any difficulty, we raise it to Team Jamku. And I must say they have been really very quick in responding to our queries, solving our doubts. So big thumbs up to Adarsh and his team for being so quick and making this experience very smooth for us. Thank you.
Thanks, Virag, for playing this short clip about Jamku. So this was Amit from Chaturvedi and Shah, or popularly known as Reliance Auditors. Thanks, Virag, for this opportunity to share our thoughts.
Thank you so much, Adarsh ji and Switcha ji. It's wonderful to have you on our platform and showcase your services. Hope it will benefit to all the attendees and all the live attendees and offline attendees as well. We will post this recording video on our YouTube channel, so you can watch later on, or anybody is not attended in full, they can also watch there. And now would like to request Mr. Ramesh Faisal from Zoho to come on screen. Yeah. Meanwhile, just want to tell you all the attendees that if you find this initiative is beneficial, just tell us your feedback by mail or by WhatsApp, or you can post even that in your WhatsApp group as well, or any other social media where we are connected. So with this, would like to request now Mr. Ramesh Faisal ji to start their presentation. So over to you, Ramesh ji. You are on mute, Ramesh ji.
Okay. So thank you, Virag. Thank you, Swachha, and other co-speakers as well for hosting the session. And yes, let's start the Zoho's presentation now. Virag, can you confirm me if you are able to see my slides and the screen which I am sharing?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So, handsome evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ramesh, the regional head of partner program Zoho Finance Suite of products. First of all, I would like to thank the whole team of Connect Easy for organizing such a path-breaking event and also inviting me as a part of it. And personally, I take it as a privilege to address the brilliant brains in the country, the finance professionals of India. We know that the world is wrestling with the global pandemic amidst the lockdown with an amalgam of both positives and negatives. Positives with regards to humanity and kindness, negative with regards to all the losses. We will have to agree that the losses are more, but never forget that it is often out of the periods of losing comes the greatest strivings towards a new winning streak. So with that, let's stay positive and hope for the best. Before starting with the presentation, let's have a look into this particular slide and think what is running inside your mind. Nothing but the terminologies that you come across on your daily lives, handling the bookkeeping for your clients, managing the financial transactions, the financial flow of your client's business, involved in key decision making as far as the tax regime is concerned, doing their GST filing, burning the midnight lamp. You know, even a businessman has the liberty to do a mistake with the only hope that there is a CA or a finance profession to help them out rectifying that mistake, whereas the CS doesn't have that. Such a challenging profession ever in the history. Have you ever asked any of your employees working in your organization or to yourself standing in front of the mirror, how do you feel about your day-to-day work? Have you ever asked? If you ask them, the honest answer would be any of these or a combination of these, at least one of these. And these are again the reasons why the traditional way of bookkeeping is also being phased out. Let's come to the point. What is technology? You know, throughout the day, we keep hearing words like automation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Bitcoin, blockchain, etc., etc. If you see 10 years back, all of these were just jargons for us, just jargons. And in 2015, 5 years back, we kept on hearing these words and still those remains as strangers for us. We didn't know what it is. But the very day when I'm talking right in front of you, these are a reality. I hope most of you would be running your own independent firms. So let me take that as an example. Let's take accountant A, accountant B. Accountant A spends 3 hours of his time, that is getting the bill book from his client, manually uploading all of these into the computer and finishing off the reconciliation. Whereas B, he scans all the documents, so it gets automatically uploaded into the computer or the system, finishes off the reconciliation within minutes, and rest of the time he spends with his clients in advising him on how to improvise the business, how to grow his business. That focus automation. In other words, we call it smart work. Let's see what are all the innovations that are happening across industries. You know, Postmate, nothing but logistics and delivery platform, is planning to deliver all the meals that you order with the help of artificial intelligence. Walmart is planning to prevent the checkout theft using artificial intelligence in their premises. We know that all our future e-commerce shopping will be delivered to us through the drones. And not just that, even farmers have started using agricultural drones with cameras to improve their treatment for their crops. GPS vehicle tracker, I need not explain this. Puma releases the digital shoe. You put your feet inside, you swipe up, it tightens, you swipe down, it loosens. And all the virtual agents are going to replace the customer service representatives. Most of the companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google are going to implement this into their operations. So it's going to be all the robots. So self-driving cars, Google and Tesla are competing to come out with a self-driving cars, the driverless car. When I talk about cars thinking of themselves, these are just the innovations that are happening across industries. Did you ever think that where will it leave our finance profession to be? With that, let me put forth a question to the audience. How many of you really feel that traditional accounting is dying? Answer to yourself, yes or no. Few might be yes, few might be no. I'll tell you the reason why. Because the traditional accounting is not completely dead, at least currently. But trust me, like how these landline phones pave way for the smartphones in a similar pattern, in a similar trend, the traditional way of bookkeeping will be phased out bit by bit. Let me just give you a recap on what was happening all these years. We created transactions in the form of papers. We stored them in the form of binders. And end of the month, we did the reconciliation, and creation of financial report will not take minutes or hours, but days together. I agree that we are completely out of all these phases of our lives because this was history. Right now, we have a system at place where we have an accounting system installed into it. and we have the Excel with magical formulas and other things. That is what we are doing right now. But there are advanced technologies which are prevailing in the market, which will drastically change the way we are working today. Let's see what are all those technologies. Beyond that, we'll see how these technologies or advancements can help CAs in improvising their clients' business. The first and the foremost point that I would like to highlight is with regards to collaboration with your clients. We all know that it's a fact that cloud technology enables anytime, anywhere, any device access. This is what the younger generations calls it freedom, independence. You're not bound to your office. In fact, you don't need an office to work. Right from wherever you are, irrespective of the time, irrespective of the place, irrespective of the device that you use, you will be in a position to get the access to your client's data. It is an irrefutable comment that this global pandemic has made us realize the value of cloud more and more. Just extrapolate the same condition into a global context. Most of the companies, that is foreign companies, prefer to have their backend office in India. For instance, let's take GCC into consideration, Gulf countries. Most of them have or prefer to have their backend accounting team in India. There are multiple reasons for that. I would quote availability of resources, the quality of services that we provide, the value, and most importantly, the cost-effective part of it compared to the domestic charges. So let's start handling the foreign clients as well. Let's expand our horizons, not just by handling the domestic clients, but also the foreign clients, be it anywhere in the part, anywhere in the world, anywhere in the globe. Let's start handling them. I can substantiate my stance with a live demonstration to you. However, the attendee should give me the liberty of using Zoho products as an example because I have ready access only to those. Let your client be in any part of the world, be it United States or Australia. You create an account for them. The only thing that you will have to do is you go to users and roles. You invite him as one of the users to your org just by adding the email address and the name. You can associate the role for them and send the invite to him. Clicking on that invite, he'll be able to join the session, or he'll be able to join the org in which you both can collaborate. As simple as that. Not just that, you can also customize your roles based on your preference. Let's say you prefer to handle most of the day-to-day transaction work, only that to your client. In that case, probably you can just give them access only to those modules. For example, customers, vendors, items. Let's say banking, you don't want to give him the access, but only to view that. Okay. Sales, fully. Purchase, fully. And the rest of the things you are denying. So likewise, you will be in a position to customize your own roles, and then while inviting him as a part of your organization or his organization, you will allow him to access only that particular role. So that is with regards to collaboration with your clients. The second point that I would like to highlight is the day-to-day transactions and the approval process. How can this help the client and the CA in collaborating and enhancing the business productivity? As you have given the access to your clients for handling most of the day-to-day transactions, for example, he'll be having the access to the item master. So while creation of the items, he'll be configuring both the interstate and intrastate tax. The same applies when he's creating his contact, be it the customer or a vendor. He'll be defining the GST treatment for this particular contact. So all these are just one-time setup. The benefit of this comes when the client actually starts creating the transactions. He'll be able to create transactions approximately within 8 seconds. So he'll have to just click on the items, the customer for whom he is going to create the transaction, and the rest of the details are automatically populated because you have already configured that. So this is how an estimate will look like. As soon as the estimate gets accepted by the client, the status gets converted into accepted. And just click of a button, you will be able to convert that into an invoice as well. So an invoice is created and you will know each and every transaction that is associated with this particular invoice, whether the customer has made the payment or not, or if he has fully paid, partially paid. So based on the payments that you record on each and every transaction, the status of that gets populated. The same applies to bills as well. Even the expense or the purchase order, you raise a purchase order. Once the customer has delivered the goods to you, or the vendor has delivered the goods to you, you will be in a position to convert that into a bill just with a click of a button. The beauty here is that any transaction which affect the accounts in Zoho Books, you will be able to see that the manual journals are automatically posted. You can see that in the screen. So the client can focus on the day-to-day transaction, and the work of posting the debit and the credit work is eliminated for a chartered accountant. He can more focus on complex tasks, like for example, doing the analytics to improvise the business process, or involved in key decision making to improve their business. So all of these things will be in a position once all of these things have got automated. And you will be able to enable a client portal to each and every contact of your client's business, like how we used to have a client portal in Amazon or even in Redbus. We log in with our own credentials, and we'll be able to see the history of transactions that are associated with the particular client and us. So in a similar pattern, whenever a contact is created, for example, let's say it's a customer that we are creating, you will have the option to enable the portal. You will have to just check in that particular option, and the invite will be triggered to him. He can set up his own credentials, and further any of the estimates or the invoice with its respective status will be uploaded in that particular portal. So this will eliminate the hassle of digging out the emails for each and every transaction that is associated with the business, and this improves the transparency of the business as well. So this is how you handle your day-to-day transaction with your clients. But if you feel that you will have to have the control over all of these things because the journals are automatically posted, you can set up the approval process. So under preferences, you will have approvals where you can enable sales approval. For example, you can also configure multi-level approval. Who should be the level 1 approver? Who should be the level 2 approver? Who should be the level 3 approver? So only the highest level of approver approves it, only then it gets accounted or even sent to a particular contact. So this way you will be in a position to organize the way the clients are working. The third one is connected banking. This is one of the interesting features that even I would love to even explain. That connected banking, see, let me just take you to a brief history. Let's say, had it been 25 years back, there are two devices which was meant for two distinct purposes. The mobile phones, which was meant for communication, and the camera, which was meant for photography. Two devices, two distinct industries. Had I come to you 25 years back and told you that I'm going to integrate these two together, you would have laughed at me. But today, it's a huge success. In fact, the cameras have become the USPs for the sales of mobile phones. What I mean to say is, the systems that are designed today are not just meant for that particular purpose, but beyond that. You extrapolate the same example or the same context here. You see banking and the accounting, these two systems are distinct. They are complementary to each other. They never coexisted in the same platform. How? We created invoices in the accounting system. We went to the bank or the bank website to collect a payment for that. Again, we shuttle back to the accounting system to record the same payment. One invoice, duplication of work. The same applies to bills as well. You created bills in the accounting system. You shuttled to the banking system to make the payment, or the bank website to make the payment. Again, you shuttle back to the accounting system to record the same payment. Since these two systems were not in the same place, we ended up doing a lot of data entry work, which resulted in duplication of efforts, and all of these were susceptible to errors. So this connected banking is a technology that will bridge the gap between the accounting system and the banking system. For the purpose of understanding, let's segregate these into three types. Connected banking with regards to bank reconciliation will be the first part. Second part, connected banking with regards to customer payments, that is your invoice payments. That will be the second part. Connected banking with regards to vendor payments. These will be the three parts. I will quickly show you a demonstration of this, how it works. So starting with the banking module, let's take the first part of bank reconciliation. You go to banking module, you just click on add bank or credit card. You can type the bank name in which you have an account or directly choose it from here if it's a prominent bank. I'll choose the Indian org so that we are comfortable in explaining. Yes, I'm going to the banking module. Add bank or credit card. So most of the banks in India, like ICICI or State Bank, I just choose this option. I enter the credentials, like nothing but the net banking credentials that I used to give. And once I continue, click on continue, the bank account gets synced with my accounting system, by which I'll be in a position to see all of the transaction, that is the bank statement, getting reflected into my accounting system on a real-time basis. You would have maintained, or the client would have maintained, the day-to-day transaction in the accounting system. Now that all of your bank statement is falling into this, you click on any of these transactions here. Let's say this deposit of 2036, the artificial intelligence will show you the best match for that, comparing the date or the amount and everything, and even the possible matches. So you can just choose on match and you will start the reconciliation. The same applies for the withdrawals as well. I click on any of the 150 withdrawal, you can see that the best match for an expense of 150 or a possible match gets automatically listed. I'll have to just choose and match it, that's all. I know that bank reconciliation is one of the tedious tasks and even the pain-taking task, but with the right technology at place, it becomes like a child's play. Let's move to the second part, how to deal with the customer payments. For the customer payments, let's say you are integrating your accounting system with the payment gateway in which you have an account. So the integration will get completed within minutes, not even minutes, even seconds. I'll just show you live how this integration happens. You go to settings and online payments. You have customer payments, and the next part, the vendor payment that we are going to discuss. So choosing this, let's say I have an account in ICICI EasyPay payment gateway. I just click on setup now, enter the merchant name, the corporate ID, the user ID, PAN, and the account. And the moment I click on save, a SMS will be triggered to my mobile. The moment I approve this, this integration is done. Once I have integrated, if I create any invoice, let me choose any of the customer, and you can see that in the invoice that I'm creating, you will be able to see ICICI EasyPay as the payment option that I'm giving it to my client. So what the client can do, I take any of the invoice, let's say I put myself in the shoes of a customer. I generate a link for this. So when I send, or when your client send this invoice to his own client or his customer, this is how he will be receiving the invoice. So you'll be able to see that there is an option called Pay Now. Clicking on that, he'll be able to see the multiple options that are available, be it credit card, debit card, net banking, UPI, cash, check, NEFT, RTGS. He can choose the preferred payments and enter the number or the appropriate details and proceed to payment. Even if it is a cash transaction that you're going to deposit in the bank, you can even create a delivery challan directly from within the accounting system itself. So you can directly take the challan, go to the bank, deposit the amount, and once it is processed from the bank end, the status of the invoice gets automatically converted into its respective status, be it paid or partially paid, whatever it is. So third part, let's come to the third part, the vendor payments. Let's say you have an account or a current account with any of these banks like ICICI, Standard Chartered, or Yes Bank. You will be in a position to set up the integration for your vendor payments. You click on setup now. The same process, you enter the CIB portal login ID, the corporate ID and the user ID and click on save. You will have to go back to the CIB portal login and approve this integration. Once it is done, you take any bill, any outstanding bill, you'll be able to see that pay via ICICI as an option on the top. So I click that option. Whatever the amount is, you can enter that. You can enter the transaction type, whether it's IMPS, NEFT, RTGS, and click on proceed. The payments will be sent to the corresponding vendor. The status of the bill gets updated automatically. The corresponding manual journals will get automated, that is posted. The GST components from this will be fetched, and it also affects the real-time financial reporting. So one job and the rest of the consecutive works are automated. Even if it is multiple outstanding bills, you can choose multiple bills here. And you want to make it one shot payment, you can pay via Standard Chartered. You just click this option, verify the vendor, because it may involve multiple vendors also, verify the vendor's bank details and initiate the payment. The payment is transferred. Likewise, you will be in a position to initiate the vendor advances as well. Coming back to the payroll part, let's say you are handling your payroll and you have your parent ready. So your parent is ready with the respective details, like the employee name, the paid days, the number of paid days for him on the net pay and the pays with the pay slip. So all of these things, once you're ready with that, you can just initiate the payment directly from within the software. So you just click on initiate payment, enter the OTP, automatically the amount gets reduced from your corporate account and it gets deposited in your employee bank accounts or the salary accounts. If you have integrated this with the accounting system, because now we have clubbed these two together, the payroll and the accounting system, but if you are handling it separately also, if you are integrating these two together, the moment the payment is processed, it gets automatically accounted in the accounting system. So that's the power of contextual integration. That is one of the disrupting factors that will change the way we are working today. The same can be applied, the same example can be applied to expenses also. This I'm talking because you might use multiple products and you're integrating all of these in order to streamline the process, the business process for your clients. Let's say you go to integrations and your client is handling Zoho Expense, which is the expense or employee reimbursements automation software. So you go to expense. So this expense, whenever a salesperson or anybody who goes out for a business trip, they'll be in a position to track all of their expense. That is, click a photo of that expense and upload it, since we have access through the mobile phones also. So you take a picture of that in the mobile phone and upload it into the system. A report can be created automatically and it will be submitted to the concerned approver, be it the business owner or the manager or the reporting head. So once it is approved, the reimbursements happen just with a click of a button. You can just click on reimburse, and via ICICI, if I click that and initiate the payment, automatically it becomes an expense to the organization. And this gets accounted in the accounting system if you have integrated these two together. So this is how the connected banking as a technology and contextual integration, both of these factors can help you and your clients in streamlining the business process. The fourth one that I would like to highlight is with regards to GST filing and e-way bills. So with regards to GST filing, I go to GST filing, and as I have mentioned that whenever you do a transaction or the client does all of his day-to-day transaction, the manual journals are posted and the GST components are automatically prepared. I can show it to you live how the GSTR 1, 2, 2A reconciliation and 3B works. So you go to GSTR 1. So based on the transaction that you have created for the particular month that you have chosen, the format is readily available. How much is the B2B invoice? How much is the B2C large invoice, export invoices, whatever it is, You can just validate the HSN summary, nil rated summary, B2CS, and enter the document issued. And you just click on push to GSTN and file your GST filing, because things are already available here. So you only for the first time you will be entering the aggregate turnover for the preceding financial year, aggregate turnover for the last 3 months. Only for the first time, the moment you give this and enter the OTP, it gets pushed to the GSTN portal. And as you know, we are GST Suvidha providers. And the ultimate agenda of bringing a GST version is to simplify this GST filing process. If at all there is a revert or some sort of a mistakes with regards to special characters or whatever the reasons are, you will be able to see all of these getting consolidated under unpushed transactions. So you can click that, the system will show you the corresponding transaction. You can make the corresponding changes and again push it to the GSTN portal. So this is with regards to GSTR1. Let's come to the GSTR2, that is 2A, reconciliation. You have the reconciliation tab here. So you have something called as pull from GSTN. The moment you click on this particular option, it will ask you for the OTP. The moment you enter the OTP, the data from the GSTN portal will be aligned or categorized under these 4 segments, namely missing in GSTN, missing in Zoho books, partially matched, matched. Missing in GSTN. So there are 2 layers for each and every transaction you can see. The first layer will be the data that is available with regards to your accounting, that is your books. The second layer is with regards to the data that is being fetched from your GSTN portal. So every transaction will have 2 layers. You can see that the second layer is not available here just because it is missing in GSTN. So you have it in your books of accounts, whereas nobody has filed it. So you can do the appropriate actions, whether you want to add it to the GSTN or leave it just like that. Second one, missing in Zoho books. You can see that the first layer, so in your books of accounts, it is not available, whereas somebody has filed it, so it is available in the second layer. So you can go to actions and perform the appropriate actions, whether you want to create and match it or reject it, stating that there is no transaction like this, or mark it as pending for this particular month. And the third one is partially matched. So you can see that the transaction is available and both the layers are there, but slight mismatches here and there. So you can just choose the action, whether you accept the value that is being fetched, or you're going to order that you're using your value, that is your value is only right, or modify and match it, or mark it as pending. So based on each and everything that you do, the number of reconciled will get increased. And finally, match transaction, everything is proper, and you just mark it as pending or accept it for your 2-year reconciliation. The third part is with regards to 3B summary. So you can just click off a button, you will be able to see the 3B summary getting generated based on the transactions that you have created. Before that, I would recommend you to go to the GSTN portal, answer all of the questions with regards to 3B filing. So the appropriate tables get popped up and you can validate it here. So probably I don't have transactions here since it's a demo, or you can just validate it, and you can, if there is any ITC adjustments or something, you can post it over here, and the same can be pushed to the GSTN, and the status of this can be checked as well. E-way bills, you can generate e-way bills directly from within the accounting system. So you go to invoices, you see any invoice, for example, which is more than 50,000, you'll be able to see an option called as add e-way bill details automatically populating on the top of the invoice. So you can choose this option. You can either create a new e-way bill or associate the e-way bill that is already being created. So you can create new e-way bill, give the corresponding details of the document type, the customer name, the invoice, the transaction type, the transporter details. You can also manage the transporter details here, and the Part P details. The moment you click on save and generate, the e-way bill gets generated and it gets associated with the invoice as well. So this is how you deal with GST filing and e-way bills in order to automate the process and streamline your business operations or your client's business operations. Fifth one is with regards to budgets and real-time reporting. So you can create budgets For example, you go to Accountants tab, where you will be in a position to see the Budgets tab. So you can create a budget, a new budget. You can name it however you want. Let's say it's a yearly budget or a half-yearly budget. Either you can configure the budget based on your preference for each and every charted, how much the budget has to be, or you can also choose this option to pre-fill it from the previous accounting year. So that actuals becomes the budget for this particular year. In case if that is an option, you can choose that, and the client will be processing the day-to-day transaction, and end of the reporting period, probably you can have the budget report that shows the budget versus actuals. So you choose the report. So you can choose the budget versus actual report. You can customize the report and choose the name. Let's say this is the demo name that I have given, reporting basis, and I click on run. I'll be able to see the report getting generated for whatever the charted where I have the figures. I'll be able to see what was the budget, what was the actual, and if it has got over budget or whether it's a percentage increase or decrease, I'll be able to get the insights, and I can also help my client in making the decisions with regards to his business process. If there is any strategic decisions, we are falling under budget or over budget, so you can help them in deciding on their business decisions. And as far as the real-time reports are concerned, we have covered 50 plus reports. For example, if you want right from your business overview, P&L, even the P&L, I can also customize it based on my preference. Like if you want to compare it with previous year, what is the number of years and how do you want it, the reporting basis, whether it is in accrual or cash, whatever it is, and I can run the report. So based on my preference, the P&L gets generated, and you have multiple reports like balance sheet, the basic reports, sales by customer, sales by item, sales by salesperson, the inventory summary, which will tell you what was the quantity ordered, quantity in, quantity out, stock on hand, committed stock available for sale. So based on whatever transaction that you create, you raise an invoice, you raise a bill. So based on your transaction, the inventory gets adjusted on a real-time basis, and you will be able to see the track of your inventory, like what is available for sale, what is the quantity in hand. So all of these reports will be available for you, and your customer balance, the aging summary. Even for your aging summary, if you want to configure it based on your preferred interval, like 6 interval of 20 days, you can do that and run report. So we have covered almost all the reports. For payables, for purchase and expenses, what is the expense details, expense by category, expense by customer, all the tax reports, projects and timesheets. So you will be in a position to create projects. Let's say, for an example, not all businesses will be using the items or inventory items. Probably there might be in a position where you will be charging your customers based on the time that you work on a particular project. So you can create projects in Zoho Books. So you can define the billing method, whether it's fixed cost or project hours or task hours, even staff hours. For example, let's take task hours as an example for a CA firm. You can define the task, like whatever the task is. You do bookkeeping and you charge them with the rate per hour, and you do another service, for example tax consulting, and you charge them a different amount rate per hour, and you are defining all of the tasks. And whenever your employees or your staffs are working on this particular project, they'll be in a position to log time for that particular project. So they can log time, they can choose the project, they can choose the task name in which they are working. For example, let's say it's a CA firm, it's a bookkeeping. You can either enter the flat amount that you have spent on that, or you can directly start timer, which means manually a timer starts running And once the job is done or the task is done, you can just stop it so that the timesheet entries gets posted. So end of the project, you will be in a position to create any of the transaction. For example, if you want to invoice your client, you can invoice it and you can send it to him, and the payments are recorded accordingly. So based on whatever you do, you will be able to see in the dashboard your total receivables bifurcating into current and overdue, your total payables getting bifurcated into current and overdue, your cash flow, cash as on the first date of your financial year, your incoming, your outgoing, cash as on the last date of your financial year. All your income and expenses will get listed. You can switch it between accrual and cash, and you also have all your top expenses of your client's organization listed in the form of pie chart, so that just by having a glance, you'll be in a position to decide where exactly your client's organization is spending a lot. And as I told you, for all the projects that you create, what will be the unbilled hours and unbilled expenses will get listed here. And all the bank and the credit cards that you have associated with your accounting system with its respective balance will be populated over here. So that's about budgets and real-time reporting. We also have other features, like in case of automation, where we have auto scanning of documents, where you just take a photo of that and upload it here. The system will automatically scan that document and a replica of the transaction will be created automatically. And you can also auto forward all your legal contracts or any of the important documents inside the document section here itself in your accounting system. So before delving into the next thing, probably I'll discuss with the voice interface that is the future of business operations. How many of you doesn't know about Siri or Alexa? Most of you would be familiar of this, and the interesting fact is that every 3 minutes, one Indian is asking Alexa, Alexa, will you marry me? I don't know what is that they are going to do marrying Alexa, but still that is the bonding that is associated with Indians and the voice interface. I thought of playing this video to you, but based on the time constraints and you won't be in a position to hear the voice of that. So let me just directly give you an example to make this understand how this voice interface could work. So this is going to be the future of business operations. So you ask, we have something called a Zia, which is similar to your Alexa. For your business operations, we have named it as Zia. Hey Zia, can you share the cash flow report for this particular month? And Zia replies, here is your cash flow report for March. And there's a good news. You have a surplus cash of 3 lakhs that you can lodge as a fixed deposit. And you order it back. Great. Create a fixed deposit with my bank for the surplus cash of 3 lakh. And you just, the Zia replies, I have created a fixed deposit for 3 lakhs with an interest of 8% at the bank. And you reply, cool, thanks. So this is how the business operations in the future will be handled. And this could drastically change the way we, as well as your clients, are going to work. The last part will be the automations, where you will be in a position to decide on the workflow. I believe that not every business has its own workflow, because few businesses have a simple workflow, few have a complex workflow. So you can't position one product to satisfy the needs of all businesses. It is impossible. So while you're evaluating an accounting solution or any solution for that matter, you should be in a position to decide whether it has basic automations, like at least recurring transactions, automating the recurring transaction like your invoice, your bills, your rental expenses. So all of these has to be there. And let's say it has to give you the flexibility of expanding its potential. For example, if you want to add any fields into a particular module, you should be in a position to do it. Let's say some transaction is created in the accounting system, and more than 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, a huge transaction, and immediately an alert has to be triggered to the business owner or a chartered accountant. You should be in a position to do that. And not only within the product, let's say if something is happening inside your accounting system, there should be a corresponding action that is being done in the third party source, even that has to be done all by yourself. So this automation will give you a very big impact in the way you and your clients are going to handle your business process. So with that, let me just take 2 or 3 more minutes in order to give the corporate overview of Zoho. Zoho Assets, it's a 23-plus-year-old company. We have our offices across 10 plus different locations. We are present across 135 plus countries. We always have the pride in tapping our chest that we are bootstrapped and we are profitable from the year one. Right now, we have 9,000 plus employees working with Zoho. In order to classify the offerings of Zoho, let's take one of your client as an example. And I have classified this into 4 clouds, namely. The starting is the customer cloud. Let's say a client is starting a business. First, he'll have to reach his particular potential customer. So he'll have to market himself or market his business. So we have products which will help you in marketing your business process. And once you have marketed yourself, that is, you have reached out to your potential leads. Now it's time for you to convert them into your customers. So we have CRM and motivator, which would enhance your client's business process, and the sales representatives can engage with your clients or your leads on a real-time basis, and they'll be in a position to convert all of your leads into your customers. And now that they have become your customers, whenever there is some or the other problems that they are facing, for example, you should be in a position to take them on a screen sharing to guide them or support them whenever they are facing some of the other issues. Or if they are facing some trouble, you will have to allocate the ticket to one of your employees working in your organization to handle that and keep a history of whatever the issues that you have handled with regards to your clients. So in order to support your customers, we have products. So this is with regards to this. These are few examples that I'm quoting. There are a number of products. Right now we have 45 plus products which are live. Coming back to the employee cloud, you will be in a position to create business documents or transactions. So for all of your business documents, be it your Word document or spreadsheets or presentations, so all of these will be created using this Office suite. So you have products for that. And once all of these are created, these resources can be allocated to different people. Like, let's say I have a team and only those people have to access these reports. I can create them, or I'm making it as public document to all of my employees. So who has to do what, whether you give him access only to view or edit it or share it as a co-owner. So all of these access, and you will be able to collaborate all the resources that you have created using the Create or Office suite that is available in Zoho Books. And for communication, like we have the mails. So we have Zoho Mail. We have Facebook, which is on the business front, it is Zoho Connect, where you have internal groups posting all the announcements and other things, people commenting, liking, sharing. Internal groups are there. So even WhatsApp can be compared to our Zoho Click. So all of these, WhatsApp, Facebook, or to the customers, whereas when it comes to the business line, it is Zoho products. You have products to handle all your operations like human resource, your finance suite of products like bookkeeping, payroll, billing, invoicing, checkout, and handling of your assets as well. So whatever the things are available with regards to all of these departments which I'm talking are the standard products. But let's say your client has a unique requirement where the workflow is something relatively unique. In that case, you will be in a position to design or customize your own solution for that particular client. So we have something called as Creator, which is a platform to customize your own solution from the scratch, and it is just drag and drop. Not just that, you can also expand it with the help of a developer from your end and also make it available in the marketplace in order to someone else who has the same requirement also to purchase it and use it for their business operation. So what I mean to say is, right from customer acquisition till customization, we have end-to-end business solution. That is why we have rightly named it as the operating system for business. One thing which I would like to highlight as one of the key points is that your clients might go for different solution based on their different business operations that they are handling. They might use inventory, they might use sales, accounting, human resource management, payroll, CRM, whatever it is. But the actual problem is if it is from a multi-vendor solution, let's say you're going for multiple vendors for each and every product of your requirement, the actual problem comes when you try to integrate all of these together. So the recent research says that the software versus the integration spend is 1:8. That means you spend 8 times more than the software, the purchase price of your software. So when it is from a single vendor, the integrations are smooth. And I repeat, there is not even a single penny that is charged or incurred extra for all of the automations or the integrations that you are working. With that, Zoho is nothing but a cloud platform that runs an entire business. It is all about choosing the right technology that can make all the difference. So we are providing 3 months of free Zoho Books, that is the accounting solution. You can sign up books.zoho.in as the URL. You can take a screenshot of this and you can send your email and your org ID, that is the basic organization details that you have created, to zcap.india@zohocorp.com with the offer code TechWeek, so that you will be in a position to avail this offer. With that, last but not the least, I would like to conclude just by telling great things are always simple in life. If they're not simple, they're never meant to be great. Thank you for your patience. Thank you all for your cooperation.
Thank you, Mr. Ramesh. Can you please reverse that slide one more time? That offer slide. Yeah, perfect. There are a few questions in the question tab if you can answer.
Sure.
Others here, if you have any questions regarding Jamku, we are here to answer those as well.
All are requested to post their question in the question tab for any of the product or services. They will answer immediately here.
Okay, the question is that scanning of documents, right? That was the question. So I don't know if I'm able to see that question as such, or is it like you want me to show how the document or explain how the documents are scanned? Okay, scanning of documents, as I told you, we have this technology
Ramesh, you
called
can unmute them as well if you are not able to understand the question. And
Okay.
there are one more post by them, so I can unmute them one more.
Okay, there are two
Mr.
questions.
Vijay, I have unmuted you. You can unmute yourself and ask. Meanwhile, you can, Ramesh, you can check other question as well. There are
Okay,
4, 5 or more questions are there.
Understood. I'm seeing that. Yeah, I'll give answer for each and everything.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Vijayaji, please ask.
Hi, Mr. Ramesh. My question was only whether we can be able to, scan the documents, and also whether, the, supplementary question is whether, the data will get can be captured automatically from the invoice instead of, manually, typing it. So these are the two questions I had.
Okay. So I think a few others have also asked the same question with regards to scanning of documents. So the technology that we use is optical character recognition. In layman terms, this technology recognizes the text given in a digital image. So as I have already mentioned, right? So the moment you take a photo of that or any of the offline bills or invoice or expenses, you upload it and you use that auto scanning of document, the text including the key details like your vendor name, the amount, the due date, and everything will be captured, and it will be a replica of that. That is automatically a transaction will be created based on those transactions. So that is the use of having the auto scanning of documents. I will share you the website details and also the pricing page link where you can try it out, all of these things. I hope this answered scanning of documents, auto reading, as well as the gentleman who asked the question right now. Yeah.
Yeah. One more follow-up question. Sorry.
Sure.
The thing is, whether this is applicable only in the Zoho expense portal, or it would be applicable even for the inventory part when we use the Zoho books.
Okay.
Sorry. Thanks.
So no problem. Thank you. So in Zoho expense, it is available by default. In Zoho books, it is available in the higher plans. So it is available in both is the answer that I can give it for you right now. So expense, how this Zoho expense automatically scans all of these documents. Likewise, in Zoho books also, you will be able to auto scan all of these documents and create transaction. So this particular feature is most prevalent and it is most predominantly used by foreign countries and accountants of foreign countries as such. I hope this would have answered the question. From invoice instead of manually creating. I mean, I don't understand this question. From invoice instead of manually creating, in the sense, are you mentioning that you want to create an invoice automatically using the auto scanning of documents? Yes, it is possible. You will have to feed in your offline transaction and the system will auto scan that, and after scanning it, you will have to add it to the concerned invoice. That is, if you choose it as an invoice gets prepared accordingly. So as I told you, the key informations are captured and it will send and the transaction is created. So you need not create even an invoice manually, is what I can tell you for this particular thing. Bank integration restricted to 3 banks only for vendor banks. Okay, it's a very good question. As far as the bank reconciliation is concerned, we have tied up with more than 7,000 plus banks all over the world. But your question is specific to vendor bank, and what is the reason behind having the integration only with 3 banks? I'm sorry, but still this is the fact. We are ready to do the integration from our end. Zoho is possibly ready because we wanted to facilitate our clients or the CAs who are going to handle their clients' business with all of these technology. But the bank, you know about Indian banks, they don't have the particular infrastructure to support us. Only these 3 banks had, and we have incorporated with them. But we are working on that. We are trying to incorporate each and every bank into that, at least the most predominant banks that are available in India, in order to facilitate that particular feature. Is Zoho suitable for manufacturing company? Yes, of course it is suitable. We have something called as Elite and Ultimate plan, where you get a holistic product of accounting, inventory, with all your shipments being tracked, handling of your warehouse management. We also have customers who are from manufacturing industries. Probably if you could share your details, or I'll get it from Virag and arrange a session for you predominantly for that. In Zoho, do you have inventory accounting? In case of manufacturing enterprise, whether inventory vouchers can be passed for conversion of raw material into finished goods or byproducts, etc. Yes, of course you can do that. We have a feature called as composite material. For example, let's say you have all the raw materials and all of these clubbed together forms a finished good. So so that is being tracked in the name of composite materials in Zoho inventory. As I told you, I'll be honored to arrange a demonstration for you. You also have YouTube videos for that, but in case if you want a personal demonstration to be arranged for your office mates or even for your team as such, I can very well do that for you. It is very much possible. What is the DB used? Okay, as far as the storage and other things are concerned, we don't have any third-party source or third-party servers. We use our own servers for that. So we also have a 3-layer protected firewall team working on that. Constantly. In this 23 years of experience, we have never encountered even a single issue related to the privacy concerns, and we also have a privacy policy available in our website. You can refer to that. And the one thing that I would like to highlight is we have country specific database or the storage. For example, we have the servers here in Mumbai itself, and we have it in different countries also. So as I told you, we are present across 135 plus countries. In most of the countries, we plan to have the database there itself. So in India, it is in Mumbai. I don't know if I was supposed to expose that, but still, how can we discuss more about areas where we may have requirements and possible solution? Okay, probably that's what we can share your details. We'll get on a call, or I'll connect you with the appropriate teams, because I am from the finance team, in case if it is related to finance, or if you want to understand the workflow of your client's business or a specific industry, and we wanted to collaborate together. Yes, we can collaborate together, and I can connect you with the appropriate people. It would be better if you can share the details with Connect Easy team, so that with all your consent, we'll be able to connect you and guide you appropriately. For banking transactions, what about approval of the owner? Yes, as I showed you the integration, how it works, I know banking concerns or money related issues are very sensitive, and it could be handled only by certain selected people, and you will be defining it under the users and roles section. So that way you'll be in a position to define that particular access, even to approve that or even share that only to a concerned user. So be it admin or a CA, whomever it is, or the particular finance resource who is working in your client's organization. Yes, whether scanning of documents is possible? Yes, pretty much it is possible. As I told you, scanning is also possible. You also have a section where you can use it as a private document section within the accounting system itself. How can you perform audit in Zoho? Okay, for auditing specifically, auditing probably I may not be able to elaborate, but still, if you are mentioning, because auditing has a lot of departments and their own streams. What I would like to highlight here is, in case, let's say you want to, if you're talking about transaction locking, or if you're talking about restricting your clients after doing the auditing, we have under accountants tab, you are having the transaction locking as a tab, where you have module specific locks. Let's say you're completed with your GSTR 1 or 2A, whatever it is, you can just lock the sales module. Likewise, you will be in a position to lock it based on the modules that are available. So the transaction logging can be used for that auditing purpose. And also we have reports called as activity logs. That's a unique report of Zoho Books. Here you have activity logs. So this will have the track of whatever is happening inside the organization in order to enhance the transparency of the operations that are being handled. So let's say somebody has created something, somebody has edited or deleted, okay, some changes have been made, somebody has created a new document. So all of these will be there, and few selected people can have access to the activity logs under the report section or the roles. Whenever you are assigning or customizing your roles, you can do it based on that. Not just this activity log, we also have automations like let's say if somebody is creating or deleting something, only few admins have to get reminded about that. You have something called as automations in Zoho Books, where you will be defining the criteria. That is, you will set up the workflow, you will set up the condition using the Boolean operation. Let's say one example is that, let's say email alert has to be triggered, or an in-app notification has to be triggered whenever an invoice is deleted, and it has to be the recipient of that in-app notification will be all the admins. If that is the scenario, what you will do is you will define the criteria. That is, if when the invoice is deleted or edited, let me show it to you live. The module is invoice, and I choose next. You can see that when to trigger, whether it is event based or date based. I don't want it to be triggered based on a particular date, but based on an event. So I just choose it as event based, and I choose whether it is created. Now in my case it is deleted. I choose delete, and I can just define what has to be triggered, whether it has to be an email alert or in-app notification, whatever it is. I'll be in a position to do that. So somebody, if something is deleted, automatically based on the conditions that you have set here, the alert will be triggered. And there are multiple things. Automations can take nearly an hour to discuss. Probably I think we'll take it offline. We can do n number of things based on your business requirements or your client's business. Okay, somebody has thanked me. I'm honored. How can we connect you, sir? Okay, I'll give my details. That is probably I'll post my email ID here. You can directly drop in an email to this particular email ID, that is zcap.india@zohocorp.com. So this, you can directly put my name and address it to me in case if you wish, or you send a request to this particular email ID and we will get in touch with you. This is my team's email ID, zcap.india@zohocorp.com. Okay. And if you want my email ID also, probably I can put it. It is ramesh.ta@zohocorp.com. RAM. Okay, I'll just include it here.
Thank you, Mr. Ramesh ji, for wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir. So this is my email ID. Probably they can note it down and get in touch with me. So zcap.india@zohocorp.com, ramesh.ta@zohocorp.com. This will be the email ID. You can take a screenshot of that and get in touch with me, and we can collaborate for more things. I think I'm done with the session. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. We thank you all the panelists, Mr. Narayan ji, Director Zoho. Also, we thank you Narsimha ji, our keynote speaker for today, and Swecha Jain. We are very thankful to you, and Adarsh Madreja as well, and Mr. Ramesh Faisal for a wonderful presentation. So thank you so much. I think we can log off for the today, and we'll meet tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Thank you all the attendees.
Take care, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Swecha.